welcome. Welcome to this YouTube channel, this, I'd say, collection of teachings that I will be putting out there, really with the desire and purpose to give you, the listener, context to train your mind, to bring your mind into alignment with your true desire, to give you tools and frameworks that will help you discern between thoughts, emotions, beliefs that are out of alignment with your true desire, and to get really in touch with your true desire. And from there, experience just the effortlessness of living that's available. So I'm sure you've heard many different teachers, people on YouTube or other platforms that, promise an effortless life, or a life of awakening, or a life of abundance, and try to do this perhaps through different suggestions of think this way or think that way, or just change this belief for that belief. And I feel like, in my own experience, having done the work I've done and the work I do with my clients, the people I collaborate with and people I work with, is that rather than trying to change what we're thinking, to change our beliefs, or to use affirmations, there is a way that we can observe the mind, to question the content that we see in it, and to release it, both on a cognitive level, on an emotional level, and on a somatic level. So really, really deep releases are available when we use the frameworks and the context that I'll be sharing on this platform. For those that do want to go deeper with this work, that really are ready to embrace this mind training, I have written the book, How to Train Your Mind. It's available on Amazon. That book gives a complete overview over all the tools I've learned on my journey that I found really effective and that worked together in a way that allowed me to get in touch with my unconscious mind, to feel and really, really notice the energy and the emotions that I had around certain things, to see and observe the thoughts that were in my mind, the underlying beliefs, bringing them to question, and then through that also getting in touch with this much deeper desire, this desire that we all share. And how you express it might be different for you, and how the specifics show up, but what I feel is universal, really, in terms of desire, is this deep desire to know that we're safe, to know that we're loved, to know that we will be given the means for whatever it is that we require when we are in alignment. And so with this approach, rather than trying to define the thing you should be doing and then you will be happy, this is an approach of observing the mind and emptying it. And then through that, you get into direct experience with really life and what's available for you, and the abundance and the ease that can be there. So in my own experience, I started meditating when I was 19 years old. I was going through a lot of stuff in my life, and I was into bodybuilding. I had some aim of becoming big and famous and all this. And after some years of this, I realized that this is not really in alignment with what I wanted. And that realization led me to one day close my eyes, and I fell into a spontaneous meditation. Something that got much deeper in me, some space that opened up that got me in touch with an underlying feeling, a desire that was there to know myself, to experience life and its full potential, and to release the tension of grind and push, and to really understand what it means to go with the flow, not to just be lazy and do whatever, but to really understand how to get congruent with life. So that prayer, that recognition of a deeper desire, led me to work offshore on oil rigs because I wanted that adventure, to then go in the completely opposite direction and spend 5 years in a monastery in the US, following a path named A Course in Miracles, my teacher David Hoffmeister, and opening my mind to mind training, to observing my thoughts, my emotions, my beliefs, and getting in touch with this underlying desire, and to purify the mind through the mind training and through the questioning of concepts. That's led me on an incredible journey of life where my approach to life has shifted from trying to figure out the right step to observing the mind, to questioning what's there, to release any energy or blocks or doubts. And then through that, the next step, whatever this next iteration of my life is, can just flow and emerge through that. I have taught this approach to quite a few people now, and always with the same results of never knowing what it will look like, but because of the deep alignment that the people have that do this work, is how things show up for them, and what shows up is always a surprise in a positive sense, and bringing them deeper into this trust that life has your back, that when I surrender my concepts in my mind, not try to become dogmatic with believing this or that, or following some teacher, this is a framework that allows you to question your mind and really get in touch with what's true for you. It does require some effort, some work, because of the opposite way of functioning in this way, where rather than trying to, again, figure out what life should be, what it should look like, and how to get there, it's, can I look at my mind, where the strain is, where the contraction is, where the fear is, and then through questioning that, through releasing that, getting in touch with something inside that just knows what to do, right? So this way of living, you could really call it a lifestyle, will take you on whatever adventure you're meant to go on, because all you're doing is releasing the brakes from what your life is meant to be. So in my experience, what that's looked like, as I already said, I went into, offshore and working in oil rigs, going to a monastery, traveling and living all over the world for the last 15 years, meeting some incredible people that I could only have met through following some inner guidance, some inner inspiration, some spark in my heart or in my gut that just gave me a sense of knowing where to go and who to talk to, and through that have these amazing friendships, relationships, and experiences that all point to this deeper truth that we're taken care of. And if we trust, our life's path will unfold in front of us. And all we really have to do is take the next step, lean into the next step, the thing that feels alive or inspiring. And when these thoughts of like, well, how do I do that? And I don't have the skills, or I don't have the money, or I don't have the this and that, that's when we can start doing the inquiry. And these inquiries are different frameworks that I learned throughout the years. One of them being the levels of mind that I learned in the monastery, that gives you a context for understanding your mind, where you can trace in from some perception, some observation that you have over your life or your reality, getting in touch with your emotions, your thoughts, your beliefs, and then this underlying desire. And then once we have that, we can then start questioning the beliefs that are there, the thoughts and the concepts that are there, through Byron Katie's the 4 questions of their work. And then we have some sharper tools that I'll be sharing to those that, dive in with me, and they're really more at the somatic level. The skill and ability to get in touch with the energy of things, to trigger that to come up and have, at a somatic level, change. We're not going to be exchanging so many beliefs here. We're going to be more questioning beliefs and surrendering them, and then see if do we really need to have beliefs, points of view, or certain stances to live the life that we really want to live. Or is there a way that this could happen through resonance, through inner knowing, through intuition? And that's really what the mind training is about, is recognizing when we get into a fixed point of view, hold on to some belief that is limiting us from experiencing what we really desire, and then this stamina and this ability to bring question to what it is that we're holding on to in our minds. And what's also available in addition to the book is an online platform that I built with courses that are recorded and that everyone can take in their own time. For those that take the courses, we will do master classes following the course, the completion of the course, because then you'll have a complete framework to do the inquiry. And then together in a group, we'll find the blind spots, we'll find the beliefs that are harder to question, the concepts that stick a little bit deeper, the stuff hiding in the blind spots. Maybe there's some emotions that we don't feel safe to get in touch with. And if we don't get in touch with those emotions, we can't really dive deeper and find underlying beliefs there. So that platform is available as of now under community.kjartanrumsfeld.com. You should see a link to that in the description of this video. You will also find a link to the book, How to Train Your Mind. The book and the video platform, or the online courses, are all meant to be done together. You don't have to do it. You can do the book by itself, you can do the video by itself, but the combination of the two is really gonna give you the most. I also work with people in a one-on-one setting where we do packages of calls over time to dive into concepts that might be a little bit more threatening, to also speed up the process in a safe container in a one-on-one setting for those that don't necessarily feel safe going into deeper or more challenging topics in a group setting. Or the benefits of the group settings being that when we see other people that are sharing their stories or their concepts and released from them vicariously through witnessing that, through bringing presence to a process for someone else, also lifts and lightens it in us. So what I'm offering is quite comprehensive in terms of all these different angles of approach. And what it will teach you is to do the mind training by yourself, to know how to get in touch with something that you have in your experience that's disturbing to you, and really find the underlying cause, to then let go of it and actually find peace. With this approach, you won't be looping around in some story that we have to reinforce to make ourselves feel good or avoid certain emotions. This will allow you to deeply, deeply surrender. And in that surrender is where you will find your power and your strength and your direction, and really this very serene, very balanced, and very powerful feeling of self, right? Because that's really what this is about. Can I experience myself and express myself fully the way I am, and then apply that in any areas of your life, relationships, or if you like traveling, or if it's for business, or any area of life is really positively affected by this way of working, this way of not changing the contents of our minds and trying to manage our emotions in certain circumstances, but to fully release these contractions, these concepts, or these ideas of who we have to be in relationship to other people or circumstances to get whatever it is we think we need, if that's safety or money or love or anything, to come back to, actually, I am the source of everything that I desire and everything that's for me. It's coming through me, and to allow that as a direct experience. So on a relative plane, we have all, grown up in this reality with parents, with peers, with people around us that have all helped us to reinforce certain concepts in our mind and ideas about ourselves that may or may not be right, that may not be in resonance. And a very common approach is to try to change the narrative, try to maybe even use spiritual concepts as a bypass to not feel certain emotions, to not, get in touch with maybe some deeper anger, shame, or hurt, or guilt about something in the past. And this approach will train you to get in touch with and stay present with the things that just need to be felt, that need to be expressed, that need to be seen in the mind so that they can be forgiven or let go of, to not return, to not be a cornerstone of some idea of an identity that I think I am, and rather to experience ourselves as who we really are. And when we have that trust and that inner knowing of our true identity, who we are, how you show up in business and work, in family life, in relationships, in generally how you hold yourself and what you permit yourself to be in touch with, your desires and what you want, everything becomes aligned because you are aligned with yourself. And through that inner alignment, you just know what's for you and what's not. And there's an inner trust because everything is then based on vibration, based on resonance, on harmony. And you don't have to figure out the right step or the wrong step, right? So this is a different way of thinking. This is a different approach to life. This is not about right and wrong or good and bad or other dogmas. This is about trusting yourself so deeply and so fully, which is a result of mind training, which is a result of opening the mind through inquiry and really bringing the unconscious up. Through that trust is life cannot really stop you anymore because you're in touch with your path, the steps that are laid out for you, that are only for you and that only you can walk, and that only you can hold yourself back from. So all this work, all this context that I will be sharing, all the tools and the frameworks are all part of learning how to release the brake and walking our path. So I hope you follow along on this journey, that this is for you. I hope you get your copy of the book, that you join the online platform, and that you participate and join us on this journey of inquiry and living the life that's truly meant for you, that's truly in alignment, and that you, through this work and through your experience, will share this with others, this attitude of being this way of functioning as an alternative to the grind and the push and all the things we think we have to do but don't really want to, and to really live a life that's in direct experience of what we truly desire.